It will be expected that you study for tests this year, especially since you get an opportunity to retake, but you only get one opportunity to retake for each standard. So you don't have unlimited retests, so you do need to study the first time. Also, it's additional work to retake. So if you know how to study the first time, it's a lot less stress on yourself to do well on the first test than it is to have to do a bunch of work to retake that first test. So one strategy is to make sure that you're completing your homework with intention. So what that means is you're not rushing through your assignments. You're making sure that you understand everything on every single assignment that I give you. There is a reason why I put the questions that I do on my assignments. I want you to put an honest attempt into every single assignment on your homework. Even if you have no clue what to do, you need to put an attempt into the problem. And then also, when you're doing group work, you're going to check your answers with the Google Forms that we have. But for individual work, you're going to check your answers using the Canvas quiz. I have the answers posted, and if you ever have any questions about your answer, and if you got it correct based on what you see in the Canvas quiz, don't hesitate to ask the teacher. Also, if you get anything wrong in either the group work or the individual work, it is a good idea to retry the problems you receive incorrect. So that way you can learn from your mistakes. And if you don't know how to correct your mistakes on a problem that you got wrong, then again, you need to ask your teacher for help. Now you're going to star problems that you don't understand. You're going to ask a peer or ask your teacher. Utilize the other students in the class. Work as a team to make sure that you are understanding the problems. Now again, that does not mean that you are copying the work off of another student's paper, because then you're really not completing your homework with intention, and thus you may not do well on the test because you're just not trying the problems on your own. So make sure that you're working together with a peer and asking for help when needed. Another good idea for studying is to create a short summary of the lesson after you watch the Edpuzzle video. And you can study this summary sheet for about 15 minutes each night. Sometimes it's a lot better to space out your studying. And so if you're studying little by little over time, that makes a huge difference when it comes time to take the test. If you are waiting till the day before a test to study, that's called cramming, and you do not want to cram for a test because most likely that information is not going to be stored in your long-term memory, and thus if you come to the test, you could eventually blank out and not understand the problems that are on the test. But if you study for at least 15 minutes each night, what that will help you do is that will help you retain the information, and you're less likely to forget that information when it comes time for the test. Complete the practice worksheets again. Again, you do not need new problems to do. You can write down problems that we've already done in class or on the worksheets and retry those problems. You can also take the review packet, make a copy of the review packet or print an extra one out from my Canvas site, and then take the review packet kind of as like a mock test at home without the use of your notes, without any help, and then try to score it by yourself with the answer key, and you can see how you did and see if you're ready for the test for the next day. Strategy 4, take frequent breaks while completing your homework or studying. This is important because if you take breaks, then you can come back feeling refreshed and you can refocus. Ask your teacher for help. If you come across something while you are studying, hopefully you're studying early and not waiting till the last minute. But if you are coming across something that you do not understand while you're studying, make sure to ask your teacher for help. Or call a friend, call one of your peers in class, and maybe they can help you. Utilize online resources such as Khan Academy or YouTube or Google. So if you're struggling, let's say, with solving equations, YouTube and Khan Academy, they have tons of videos related to solving equations. Utilize those resources. If my Edpuzzle videos are not helping you, there are so many resources on the internet that you can use to help you. So make sure to utilize the fact that we have Google, that we can just type in anything that we want, and tons of resources are available at our disposal. Make sure also that if you're struggling and you see that a student is doing well, make sure to ask them for help. Partner up with somebody who's doing well in school, and maybe set up a time where you guys can study together or work together.